When I was in high school, I dreamed of a couple things: the ability to go away from home for college, a place where I felt at home being myself, and the ability to help other high schoolers reach their college dreams. And for the past 4 years, all my dreams came true, and it's all because I filled out the Bonner application back in spring of 2021. As cheesy as it sounds, being a Bonner really did make my dreams come true. It's opened doors I didn't even know were doors and created amazing opportunities for me. Before we get into all that, let's first rewind to childhood and high school. I was raised by teacher parents who encouraged me and my brother to be involved in our community. They were insistent about living in the community you work in and working to make it a better place. Connection was the basis of the work they did. My grandmother also played a big role in my formative years, and she taught me the importance of showing up for people and welcoming them into your home. For a woman who lived on a farm in the middle of nowhere, she was always welcoming someone into the kitchen or baking someone cookies to improve their day. I understood community as a big part of service from a young age, and that pushed me to get involved in my high school civic leadership program, Raider Ambassadors. It's where I learned more about servant leadership. It allowed me to get connected with the community through service, and it gave me the experience and opportunities I needed to successfully get into college. But in senior year, even as I was learning to be a servant leader, taking all my AP classes, and being overly involved in activities, I was also stumbling through indecision, lack of direction, and the overwhelming task of simply applying to college. And all I could think about was how much easier this would be for me and for my friends if we had proper college and career counseling. It wasn't uncommon for my classmates to come to me to help them fill out forms and applications. A lot of it didn't make a whole lot of sense to me, but I was determined to help my friends and myself. In this world of indecision and confusion of trying to figure out all the college stuff, the only thing that I seemed to be sure about was that I wanted to be a Bonner leader. It was everything that I was passionate about: service, community, and leadership. And when I got in and got the site list, I knew immediately where I wanted to work: college counseling at Richard Hardy Memorial. I jumped into the site with a lot of enthusiasm and ideas. I was getting to be the help that myself and my friends needed when I was a senior. But there were a lot of barriers that first year: trying to build connections with students when we were still wearing masks, placing my own expectations onto the high schoolers instead of listening to their plans, and trying to figure out exactly how to teach and lead students when I had been in their shoes just months earlier. During second semester freshman year, while taking the intro certificate class and learning more about servant leadership and community engagement work, I began to apply what I was learning about accompaniment, asset-based development, and the value of slowing down and listening to the people I was working with at my sites. I also applied to be site leader at Richard Hardy because I knew that if I wanted to make a bigger impact on the students, I needed to make a bigger commitment to the site. So sophomore year, I jumped right into all things OCE: co-site leading Richard Hardy, living in the community engagement house, going on a spring break outreach trip, serving as a facilitator for dinner and dialogue, and still working towards the certificate. I learned a lot from this experience: how to be a leader alongside someone else and balance responsibilities, how to live and create in community, how to connect and serve a community in the short term in a meaningful way, and I learned a lot about how to work with high schoolers. Working with Stuart, we learned how to listen to the students, build relationships with them, and then built our workshops and lessons around what they needed. And crazily enough, it worked. And that year, all the seniors, when they graduated, were going to college, tech school, or had a job. I was literally living my dream. I felt at home being myself in everything I was involved with. And I also learned that overexerting yourself leaves you burnt out. I had a lot of fun sophomore year and loved being so involved in the OCE, but I was also overly involved in the chapel, KD, and was applying to study abroad. And at the end of spring semester 2023, my body literally shut down, and I spent 2 days in bed from sheer exhaustion. So, fall junior year, I went to Scotland with the goal to figure out who exactly I was when I wasn't overexerting myself. What did I care about when I didn't have any activities distracting me? Going abroad allowed me to live life outside the Sewanee bubble and explore the world. It taught me a lot about who I am when I'm not in class or being a part of campus life. And it also gave me the space to reflect on what I love most about Sewanee and how I wanted to show up on campus when I returned. I realized that one of the things I missed the most was my community engagement work. I miss the Bonner community in my site. I miss feeling connected to the place that I live. At Sewanee, I did exactly what my parents and grandmother had taught me. I built community in the place that I lived and worked with the purpose of making it a better place. I came back from Scotland with renewed focus, passion, and excited to continue being a part of everything, but this time with better balance and the ability to say no. And I'm still living the dream, getting to work with the high schoolers and feeling very at home in the Coho. I've been able to travel to Chicago to meet other civically engaged college students, and this year I wrote my comp on community engaged religion. I have plans to attend the Cornbread Festival for the third time, and I have so much community and so many friends who show up in my living room and kitchen, making themselves at home. I've experienced and learned a lot over the past 4 years, but one of the biggest things I have learned is that I want to continue doing this work. I've gotten to live out my dream for the past 4 years, and it's been one of the greatest adventures and accomplishments of my life. But it's time to build and try to live out a new dream, a dream of community building and engagement work. And as cheesy as it sounds, I feel prepared to go and live out that dream because of all the experiences I've had because of Bonner. So on May 11th, when I graduate and take my next steps, I don't exactly know where I'll be or what I'll be doing, but I know that I want to be doing community and civic engagement work. I want to create third spaces, community events, work with community partners, encourage inter-community understanding, and I want to create effervescence. Effervescence comes from religious studies and is the idea that the act of gathering in and of itself is sacred, and the sacrality that emerges from community. Effervescence bubbles up in a shared community simply because people are gathered in one shared space and moment. Community, for all intents and purposes, becomes a religious experience. When I reflect on the experiences that I've had at Sewanee that have produced effervescence, it has been in areas of community engagement. Effervescence has bubbled up around the bonfire in the Coho backyard while making s'mores and watching friendships bloom, during car rides down to Richard Hardy Memorial School, getting excited about that week's lesson, while on outreach trips as we work together to make someone's home more livable, at the OCE as we get excited about giving grant money to amazing community partners, and it bubbles up on the Sterling's porch, discussing the mundane and beautiful of life. It is in these moments of creating and recognizing and celebrating effervescence where I found purpose and passion in my life. When I think about the future, that is what I want to be doing, creating opportunities for community, making space for storytelling, identifying the value in people, communities, and gatherings for the sake of gathering. My new dream, my new passion, is to make space for effervescence to bubble up. It has been my greatest honor to serve and work and live and laugh with y'all over these past years together, and I can't begin to express my love and gratitude for all the beautiful moments and everything and everyone who helped me live out my high school dreams and led me to my new dream. So I'll end with a simple, thank you so much for everything. With love and in community, Emma Lively.